So, and now we're going to get some interesting timings relating to Trump, Roswell, Corona, Roswell, Corona, 9/11, COVID-19, and the Space Force. All right, so let's jump right into this table. So here are a set of very interesting coincidences relating to Trump, Roswell, or Corona, 9/11, COVID-19, and the weaponization of space, or the Space Force, and so on. And also, you can see my Twitter thread. Well, now it's going to be called X.com thread because Elon Musk just changed Twitter to X a few days ago. Quite fascinating stuff is going on. Anyway, so here's the date. I made a giant table, and there's a short date, and I have the long date in this format just so I don't need to put a extra comma every single time. So 11 September, so the day, month, and then year. And then the short date, I have it reversed, so month, day, year. And then there's the event description. So date September 11th, 1941, or 9/11, 1941. Construction of the Pentagon began. Again, remember, the Pentagon was attacked in 9/11. Yeah, so construction began on 9/11, and then it was attacked on 9/11. Absolutely fascinating stuff. And now you have June 14th, 1946, or 6/14, 1946. Trump born on a blood moon. And then you have June 14th, 1947, Roswell Corona UFO incident starts. Then you have September 18th, 1947, U.S. Air Force is created. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bold this part right here because it's pretty interesting. So basically, September 18th, 1947, a year after Trump's birthday, Trump's born. You have U.S. Air Force is created. All right. So then I'll bold all the space stuff because I think space is going to be pretty big, especially in PSYOP terms. Anyway, so the next setup here is February 16th, or 2/16, 1968. So 1968 is a big year as well. First 911 emergency call made by Alabama Telephone Company. And that same year, or around the same time, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, and AT&T agreed upon 911 for nationwide emergency calls. All right, so 1968, and they have 911 emergency. And then if you go April 2nd, or 5/2, 1968, Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke's the famous movie 2001: A Space Odyssey is released. So 1968, 911 emergency. A 911 emergency made, or emergency number agreed upon. And then you have 1968, 2001: A Space Odyssey, the date, 2001. aka 9/11. And then also 1968 on August 6th, or 8/6, 1968. Interesting, 6/8 and then 8/6 mirrors itself. World Trade Center WTC construction began. So WTC's construction began. Stanley Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey, 911 emergency. And also, even more bizarre, 16th, in November 16th, or 11/16, 1968, the word coronavirus is first shown in print, aka COVID-19. So now we're getting somewhere. And then the year later, July 20, 1969, Apollo 11 alleged moon landing. I'll bold this because it's dealing with space. Or 7/20, 1969. So very interesting stuff. All right. So now the next coincidence, or just the next event, is September 11th, 1987, or 9/11, 1987. President Ronald Reagan. Yeah, here I forgot to finish the sentence here. So, President Ronald Reagan declares 9/11, 1987, or December 11, 1987, as 911 emergency number day. All right. So this is the president announcing that. Very interesting. Now, fast forward to October 26, or 10/26, 1999, the 9/11 Act went into effect, which included a provision directing the FCC to make 911 the universal emergency number for all telephone services. So even though this was agreed upon in 1968, that 911 was going to be used for nationwide emergency calls. This was between FCC and AT&T. This pretty much says FCC for all telephone services. And this is, again, just before 9/11. And then going further, this is January 11th, 2001, the Space Commission. The Space Commission was formed to assess U.S. military involvement in space. Again, notice the numbers 1, and then 1 there, 201. Very interesting. And then fast forward a few months, then you'll have, exactly 9 months. Well, actually, exactly 8 months from this right here, because the first month will be 2, And then 9th would be 8th month. So September 11th, 9/11/2001. So the 9/11 justification of the WTC and Pentagon and even Shanksville as well, if you analyze the evidence. And this is a link to my 9/11 video series. So peak.com/truth/@mes/911. Or you could just Google or YouTube Math Easy Solutions 9/11. Anyways, going further. So this is 2001. Remember the Space Commission. There's a moon landing there, alleged moon landing, all dealing with when just around the time of World Trade Center construction. And then you have word coronavirus, Stanley Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey, and yet coronavirus shown in print, and so on. And fast forward, there's another Space Commission, and then there's a 9/11 justification of the WTC and Pentagon. So Space Commission, then a PSYOP. Going further, this is November 9th, 2016. Notice the 9/11 to the 11/9. So Trump announced winner of the U.S. election. Very interesting. And then Trump is in office as president from January 20th or 1/20/2017 to January 20th, 2021. All right. And then during this time that he's president, Trump directs DOD to create the Space Force. Yeah, I'll just bold this. So DOD to create the Space Force, and then you'll have just a few weeks later, on July 5th or around that time, 7/5/2018, Roswell/Corona UFO crash site open to the public for the first time in 71 years. Yes, very, very fascinating stuff. So remember, and Roswell was formed a year after, after Trump's birthday, on Trump's birthday and month. And then just literally a few months later, your U.S. Air Force created, and then you have this UFO incident right there near Trump's birthday. And then fast forward when Trump's president, he orders the DOD to create a Space Force. And then a few weeks later, Roswell is open to the public. All right. And then fast forward later, so December 1st or 12/1/2019. COVID-19, quote, patient 0 first gets symptoms. And then a few days later, it's 19 days later, on 12/20 or December 20th, 12/20/2019, Space Force is created. All right, so Space Force was created as the COVID-19 PSYOP is beginning, just as the Space Commission was formed as 9/11 was PSYOP was happening. So you have March 11th or 3/11/2020, COVID-19 quote pandemic declared. Fascinating stuff here. So yes, pretty epic events and their timings.